Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and I've been reading through the different news stories on nutrition and health and things, which I do frequently, and I've come across two conflicting or apparently conflicting news stories that are being discussed in the fitness world a bit. One, actually I only read the one in the New York Times. This one's been covered by every major media outlet, but I'll link it down below, discussing the FDA now requiring calorie labels on all fast food. That includes even pizza joints, fast food restaurants, even the popcorn and movie theaters. Everything that you buy out in public food-wise in the United States will now require calories to be labeled. I think every nutritionist and obesity researcher in the world would agree this is a step forward, this is progress. Some people will argue that this maybe infringes upon free business, but I disagree. It should never be seen as impeding a free market or free business to put further restrictions on a company that require it to provide information, direct information and labeling of its products to the consumer, particularly something that's bought by the average layperson every day, not even big companies. When it's sold directly to the consumer, requiring accurate and detailed labeling of critical information so that the person knows what they are buying, so they know what your product is, the entirety of your product, the important things about your product, shouldn't be seen as restricting free business, because it isn't. If you're selling something, it needs to be labeled appropriately, particularly when there are health implications. And if anything, in some ways, that sort of thing can drive companies to produce a better, more sellable product when they're required to label things. So everybody wins in that situation. And the other news story that came out was in the Daily Mail here in the UK that I saw, and it's discussing, and this is important because this is a major media outlet here in the UK saying that, oh, calorie counting doesn't matter, it's counterproductive. And this is being bashed a bit because the title itself is sensationalist and it goes against everything we know in nutrition research. We know the data is overwhelming that it is calories in versus calories out that is responsible for obesity, for fat gain, for fat loss, for weight gain, for weight loss. This is undisputed at this point. It's only a few fringe quacks who are debating this and people who are putting out really shitty diet books and fad diets. Now, the reality is they are essentially right though in what they are saying. Not that the others should be promoting high fat, but they are saying that certain foods, particularly highly processed, highly refined foods, will make you overeat calories easier because they're less satiating, particularly for people who aren't tracking calories, that you will simply overeat some foods more than others. And that is the golden ticket. That is where all of this meets together, and we realize the reality is we've known for decades what drives obesity. On the biological level, we know how to get people to lose weight. We know how to get people to gain weight. The problem is psychological diet adherence issues are the issues that are important, because we already know it's calories in, calories out. The issue becomes how do we get more calories out and how do we get less calories in. And discussing things like satiety along with other psychological issues is critical to the argument. But when you start making arguments like the calorie counting is counterproductive, or that it doesn't work, or that it isn't about calories in, calories out, that is misleading. And that is bad journalism and bad news stories that are promoting pseudoscience, if it's going to lead people to that type of conclusion. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time. But let me give you guys a bicep shot before I go. Oh, Mount Vesuvius.